Tonight I stand before you with a message as powerful as the crashing of the ocean's tide, a message that speaks of strength in silence, dignity in restraint, and the profound truth that sometimes the most impactful action you can take is to simply let go and allow karma to work its quiet, unstoppable magic. There are moments in our lives when words, though they may seem like the only weapon in our arsenal, become an impediment rather than a tool. There are times when the fire of our emotions must be tempered by the cool, calming waters of silence. I invite you to journey with me as we explore the 5 pivotal moments in which silence, rather than confrontation, becomes our greatest ally. And as we walk this path together, remember the immortal words of Mahatma Gandhi: an eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind. There are moments when our instincts scream for retaliation, when every fiber of our being demands that we fight back with words or actions. But tonight, I want to tell you that true power lies not in the clamor of our voices, but in the serene strength of our silence. You see, silence is not a mark of weakness. It is the silent drumbeat of wisdom that resonates within you, a testament to your ability to rise above petty conflicts and let life balance its own scales. It is in these quiet spaces that karma, that unseen force of justice and equilibrium, does its most profound work. I want to share with you 5 distinct moments in life when staying silent isn't about surrender. It's about empowering your soul and setting a foundation for a future defined by peace and purpose. I'm not here to lay out a step-by-step guide and bullet points, but to weave a narrative that speaks directly to your heart, inviting you to embrace silence as a transformative force. So lean in and listen closely, for these are the moments when silence speaks louder than any shout ever could. There are times when you face relentless criticism, when the voices around you seem intent on tearing you down. In those moments, it might feel natural to lash out, to defend yourself with every word in your arsenal. But let me tell you something. When you choose silence in the face of unwarranted criticism, you are not conceding defeat. You are affirming your inner strength and self-worth. Silence in these instances is a deliberate, measured response that says, I know who I am, and no one can shake my foundation. Consider the wisdom of Eleanor Roosevelt, who once said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Your silence then becomes a defiant affirmation of your dignity. It sends a message that you are too invested in your own growth and destiny to be derailed by the negativity of others. In the moments when betrayal strikes, the shock of a friend turning foe, or the sting of a trusted ally's disloyalty, it is easy to feel the urge to retaliate with biting words. But let me remind you that sometimes silence is the most potent form of resistance. When you are betrayed, your instinct might be to expose the fault lines of that shattered trust. However, choosing to remain silent is not an act of submission. It is a deliberate decision to reclaim your inner power. It is in those moments of quiet reflection that you gain clarity about the true nature of the relationships in your life. As the great Martin Luther King Jr. reminded us, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. By choosing silence in the wake of betrayal, you are standing tall, allowing karma to unravel the consequences for those who would spread discord and deceit. There are also times when envy and jealousy ripple through your environment, seeping into every corner of your consciousness. Whether it is the success of a colleague or the accomplishments of someone you once admired, these moments can ignite an inner turmoil that begs for confrontation. But here's the truth. Responding with silence to envy is a declaration that your path is uniquely your own. When you let the world's noise drown out your inner voice, you are, in fact, choosing to nurture your own garden of dreams, letting karma tend to those who waste their energy in comparison. Silence in these moments is like the calm in the eye of a storm. It centers you, reminding you that the only true competition is with the person you were yesterday. As the great Ralph Waldo Emerson once observed, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Let your silence be the testament to your commitment to your own journey, free from the distractions of envy and comparison. Now, consider the times when anger burns fiercely within you, a fire that threatens to consume your reason and cloud your judgment. In these heated moments, the allure of a swift retort can be overwhelming. But let me remind you that anger, while natural, is not always the answer. Choosing silence in the face of raging anger is akin to choosing the long, slow burn of a controlled fire over a wild, destructive blaze. It is the choice of the wise, who know that words spoken in anger have a way of echoing long after the moment has passed, often with consequences that scar both the speaker and the recipient. In the silence that follows, you allow yourself the time to reflect, to cool your passion, and to let karma administer its own justice without the interference of hasty, regretful words. As the ancient philosopher Lao Tzu wisely said, "He who conquers others is strong. He who conquers himself is mighty." In choosing silence, you are conquering the tempest within, paving the way for thoughtful, measured actions that speak to your true strength. Lastly, there are times when you are simply not ready to engage. The moments when you are overwhelmed by the weight of your own struggles, when the external pressures of life seem too much to bear. In those moments, silence is not about avoidance, but about self-preservation. It is about giving yourself the space to heal, to gather strength, and to return to the arena of life with renewed purpose. This silence is a powerful acknowledgement that you are more than the sum of your immediate circumstances. It is a pause that allows you to listen to your inner voice, to reconnect with your spirit, and to let karma remind you that every setback is simply the universe's way of preparing you for an even greater comeback. In the words of the incomparable Nelson Mandela, it always seems impossible until it's done. Your silence in these times is a promise to yourself that you will rise again, stronger and more resilient than ever. Let me share with you a story of a man who was once consumed by anger, who felt betrayed by those he trusted, and who, in his darkest moments, was tempted to let his voice become a weapon. This man, much like many of us, found himself caught in the whirlwind of life's challenges, his heart heavy with the weight of unmet expectations and shattered dreams. There came a moment when, rather than lashing out, he chose silence. It wasn't an act of cowardice, but one of remarkable strength, a decision to let karma take its natural course. In that quiet interlude, he discovered that the universe had a way of balancing scales without the need for his intervention. The people who had once sowed discord and betrayal began to face the consequences of their actions, and slowly the man's heart was healed, not by the echoes of revenge, but by the gentle, persistent workings of justice that time and silence had brought forth. My friends, there is an undeniable power in silence, a power that speaks volumes even when no words are uttered. It is the power of self-control, of inner wisdom, and of faith in the natural order of the universe. When you choose silence, you are not admitting defeat. You are affirming that you are in control of your destiny, that you have faith in the forces that guide us all. You are making a statement that you will not be dragged into the mire of petty disputes, that you will not allow negativity to erode your spirit. Instead, you stand tall, resolute in the belief that what goes around comes around. And as the famous saying goes, what you give is what you get. Your silence is a gift to yourself, a gift that allows you to rise above the noise and to let the ripples of karma carry away the burdens that weigh you down. Let me speak to you now about the heart of this message. The idea that silence is not the absence of sound, but the presence of strength. There is a beauty in choosing not to engage in every battle and allowing the universe to settle scores that are beyond our control. Every time you resist the urge to lash out, every time you choose silence over needless conflict, you are investing in your future self. You are saying, I'm not defined by the chaos of this moment. I am defined by the quiet determination to build a better tomorrow. And when you find that peace within, you become a beacon of hope to those around you, a living example that there is a better way, a wiser way to navigate the stormy seas of life. I want you to remember as you leave here tonight that there will be moments when the path ahead seems dark and uncertain, when every instinct within you screams for retaliation and for the satisfaction of a verbal battle. But in those moments, I challenge you to take a deep breath, to stand in the quiet center of your being, and to trust that the forces of karma are at work. Trust that the universe, with all its mystery and its might, is constantly balancing the scales of justice, even when it seems like the world is tipping in favor of chaos. Trust that silence, though it may seem like an act of inaction, is in fact the most powerful form of action you can take. For in silence, you find not only your true strength, but also the wisdom to let life take its natural course. There is a lesson in every moment of silence, a lesson that teaches you the value of patience, the beauty of restraint, and the importance of trusting in a process greater than yourself. I encourage you to reflect on the words of the great Bruce Lee, who said, "Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water." In choosing silence, you allow yourself to be like water, flexible, adaptive, and resilient. Water does not waste its energy fighting against the obstacles in its path. Instead, it flows around them, carving out new paths and creating beauty in its wake. So too, my friends, can you choose to be like water. Let your silence be the stream that quietly but persistently shapes the world around you. When you choose silence in the face of criticism, you are choosing to rise above the petty squabbles that so often plague our lives. You are saying that your self-worth is not determined by the fleeting opinions of those who have not walked in your shoes. Instead, you are affirming that your value is intrinsic, that it comes from a well of strength deep within you, a well that cannot be diminished by the shallow judgments of others. It is in this quiet confidence that you discover the true meaning of resilience. And when that resilience is tested time and time again, you will find that your silence has become a sanctuary, a safe harbor where your spirit is nurtured and your dreams are given space to flourish. In the wake of betrayal, when the scars of broken trust run deep, silence becomes your shield and your sword. It is the calm before the storm of karma's retribution, a moment of reflection that allows you to reclaim your narrative. You see, when you choose to remain silent, you are not condoning the wrongs that have been done to you. Rather, you are making a conscious decision to let your actions speak louder than words. You are saying, I will not be defined by this betrayal. I will rise above it. And in doing so, I will allow the natural order of justice to unfold. And as the world turns, you will come to see that those who sow discord ultimately reap the bitter fruits of their own misdeeds. There will be days when anger simmers beneath the surface, when the weight of injustice feels unbearable. It is in those moments that you must dig deep and find the strength to choose silence over a storm of retaliatory words. Remember that every time you allow your anger to be spoken without thought, you risk tainting the beauty of your soul. Instead, let your silence be a testament to your inner fortitude, a declaration that you are not defined by the fleeting passions of the moment, but by the enduring spirit of wisdom and self-control. For it is in that quiet reserve that you find the clarity to see beyond the immediate turmoil, to recognize that every challenge is an opportunity to grow, and that every wound, given time and care, will heal. And then there are those moments when life itself seems to overwhelm you, when the pressures and burdens of your journey weigh so heavily upon your shoulders that you feel compelled to retreat into silence. In these moments, silence is not a retreat from life. It is a strategic pause, a time to gather your strength, to recalibrate your heart and mind. It is a moment of honest introspection where you acknowledge that sometimes you must listen to the quiet voice within before you can truly hear the wisdom of the world around you. In choosing silence, you are granting yourself permission to rest, to heal, and to emerge from the darkness with a renewed sense of purpose. As Helen Keller once said, although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it. Let your silence be the spark that ignites your inner fire, the silent promise that you will not allow your struggles to define you, but rather that you will rise stronger and more determined than ever before. As I stand here tonight, I urge you to see silence not as a gap in conversation, but as a powerful space of potential, a space where the seeds of transformation are planted. In every silent moment, there is a universe of possibility, a chance to recalibrate, to reflect, and to rise. When you choose silence over the noise of conflict, you are choosing to invest in yourself. You are choosing to believe that your worth is not determined by the echoes of others' voices, but by the quiet conviction that burns within you. And in that quiet conviction, you will find the strength to face whatever comes your way. Look around you and see the beauty in those who choose silence. Notice how they carry themselves with a quiet dignity, how their eyes reflect a depth of understanding that can only come from a life lived with intention and purpose. They have learned that true power is not about dominating others with words or actions, but about mastering oneself to be the calm in the storm, the steady hand amidst chaos. This, my friends, is the essence of letting karma handle what it must and choosing silence as your guiding light. I invite you to take this message to heart when you are faced with criticism that seeks to diminish your light, when betrayal threatens to cast a shadow over your spirit, when jealousy and envy try to lure you into a cycle of comparison and conflict, when anger flares and threatens to set your soul ablaze, and when the weight of your struggles calls for a moment of quiet reflection, remember that silence is not a void, but a powerful testament to your inner strength. It is the space where karma works its quiet, relentless magic, balancing the scales and restoring equilibrium to your life. In these moments, choose to be still. Choose to let your actions, your perseverance, and your unwavering commitment to your own truth speak louder than any words could ever do. Embrace the silence as a sanctuary for your soul, a sacred space where you can reflect on your journey and draw upon the reservoir of inner strength that lies within you. And as you do, know that you are not alone. Every great leader, every visionary, every person who has ever made a lasting impact on the world has at some point chosen silence over chaos. They have trusted in the process, believing that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, will bring balance to all things. So tonight, as you step back into the world, carry with you this truth, that there are moments when the most courageous act you can perform is not to engage, but to step back, breathe, and allow karma to weave its intricate tapestry of justice. Understand that your silence is your power. It is the quiet roar of determination that says, I will define myself by the actions of others. I will define myself by the integrity of my silence and the strength of my conviction. In the end, life is not measured by the battles we fight with our voices, but by the wisdom we accumulate in the quiet moments of reflection. It is in those moments when the noise of the world fades into the background that we truly hear the call of our own hearts. And it is in that call that we discover our most profound potential, a potential that is not bound by the fleeting opinions of the world, but by the eternal truth that what is meant for you will never pass you by. I leave you with the timeless words of Steve Maraboli. When you let go of what's no longer you, you become who you were meant to be. Let these words sink deep into your soul as you embrace the power of silence. For in that embrace, you will find the courage to face life's challenges head on, the wisdom to know when to speak and when to remain quiet, and the unwavering faith that the universe will always restore balance in its own time. As you journey forward, remember that every silent moment is a declaration of your self-worth. Every time you resist the urge to speak out of anger or hurt, you are choosing to honor your inner truth. You are choosing to believe that the universe, in its mysterious ways, will ensure that justice is served. And when that justice comes, it will be a testament not to your silence, but to your strength. The strength that lies in knowing that sometimes the loudest voices are those that remain unspoken. Stand tall, my friends, and let the echoes of your silent strength reverberate throughout the world. Trust in the process and trust in yourself. For every trial you face, every slight, every moment of betrayal or envy is but a stepping stone on your path to greatness. And when you choose silence, you are choosing to walk that path with dignity, grace, and an unwavering belief in the power of karma. So tonight, as you reflect on the moments when silence was your greatest ally, know that you are part of a legacy of those who dare to trust in the power of restraint, who believe that sometimes the most courageous act is to simply be silent and let the universe do its work. And as you move forward, may your silence speak volumes, may your strength be a beacon of hope, and may your heart always remain open to the quiet magic that turns adversity into triumph. Let this message resonate within you. There are times to speak, and there are times to listen. Not just to the voices around you, but to the wisdom of your own heart. In your silence lies an unyielding power, a quiet determination that will carry you through even the darkest nights. And when the world seems to conspire against you, remember that every moment of silence is a prayer for peace, a testament to your strength, and a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive the blessings it has in store. In closing, I urge you to embrace the art of silence as a tool of empowerment. Let it remind you that every act of restraint is a victory in itself, a triumph over the forces of negativity and despair. And as you walk your path, let your actions, guided by the wisdom of your quiet resolve, Be the legacy that inspires others to find their own strength in silence. May you always find the courage to choose silence over chaos, and may karma, in all its magnificent wisdom, reward you with the fulfillment of your highest destiny. Thank you, and may your journey be ever illuminated by the quiet, unyielding light of your inner strength. In every chapter of your life, from moments of searing anger to the gentle calm after a storm of emotions, remember this: your silence is not a void. It is the fertile ground in which greatness is sown. It is a declaration that you will not be swayed by the fickle judgments of others, that you will hold fast to your integrity, and that you understand the profound truth that sometimes the best way to overcome adversity is not by adding to the noise, but by stepping back and allowing the natural order of the universe to unfold. Reflect on the power that lies in waiting, the power that resides in the patient, measured response that says, I have faith in a higher purpose. There is a deep wisdom in recognizing that not every battle is worth fighting, that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to simply hold your tongue and let the winds of karma carry away the remnants of discord. This is not an act of passivity. It is an active, intentional choice to build a life anchored in resilience, compassion, and self-respect. Each of you is the master of your destiny. Every time you choose silence over noise, you are reinforcing the foundation upon which your future is built. You are saying to the world, I am not here to participate in the pettiness that so often distracts us from our true calling. I am here to create, to inspire, and to allow the natural flow of justice to work its magic. And as you do so, you not only honor yourself, you honor the very essence of what it means to be human, to rise above the fray, to trust in the unseen forces that guide us, and to walk a path that leads to a destiny filled with purpose and light. Let the wisdom of silence echo through every challenge you face. Embrace the moments when anger and hurt would have you lash out, and instead find the strength to remain still. In that stillness, you will discover that the true battle is not with those who seek to harm you, but with the impulses that threaten to rob you of your inner peace. By mastering the art of silence, you become the quiet force that shapes your own life. A force that, like the steady drip of water that wears away the hardest stone, gradually transforms obstacles into stepping stones. As you continue on your journey, may you find solace in the understanding that your silence is your superpower. A superpower that, when wielded with wisdom and integrity, has the potential to change not only your own life, but the lives of those around you. In a world where noise often drowns out truth, let your silence be the clarion call of authenticity, a reminder that true strength is measured not by the volume of your voice, but by the depth of your character. So stand tall, with your head held high and your heart open to the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. Let the lessons of silence guide you in every decision, every encounter, and every challenge. And as you navigate the twists and turns of life, trust that the quiet power of karma will always ensure that justice, in its own time and its own way, is served. This is your moment, a moment to reclaim your power, to embrace the beauty of restraint, and to let your silence speak for the incredible potential that resides within you. The road ahead may be long and winding, but know that every step taken in quiet reflection is a step toward a brighter, more purposeful future. And in that future, when the world looks back on your journey, it will see not the echoes of empty words, but the resounding legacy of a soul that chose to let karma handle what it could, while you built a life defined by strength, integrity, and unwavering resolve. Thank you for listening, and may the quiet strength of your spirit guide you always. As you leave here tonight, carry this message close to your heart. There is honor in silence, and there is immense power in choosing not to engage in battles that do not serve your higher purpose. In every moment of quiet, remember that you are investing in your own well-being, that you are nurturing the seeds of a future filled with promise and light. Let your silence be the mark of a soul that is confident in its own worth. A soul that understands that the universe has a way of setting things right when we have the courage to simply let go and trust in the process. Embrace the art of waiting, the beauty of reflection, and the unyielding strength of a quiet heart. For in your silence, you hold the power to transform pain into wisdom, anger into resolve, and setbacks into stepping stones toward greatness. And as you continue to navigate this intricate dance of life, may you always know that every silent moment is a testament to your resilience, a silent promise that you will rise above the noise and create a legacy that speaks not in words, but in actions that echo through time. Remember this truth: when you choose silence, you are not giving up, you are standing up. You are saying that your life, your journey is too precious to be wasted on the fleeting sounds of discord. You are choosing to invest in a future where justice is not forced, but naturally unfolds in its own time, where every hardship is met with the steady, unwavering belief that what is meant for you will come to you. So go forward with courage and conviction. Let your silence be a symphony of strength that drowns out the clamor of negativity and resonates with the deep, timeless rhythm of your inner truth. Trust in the process, trust in the wisdom of karma, and above all, trust in yourself. For you are the architect of your destiny, the quiet force that shapes the future, and the living embodiment of the profound truth that sometimes the greatest power lies in the silence between the words. Thank you, and may your path always be lit by the gentle glow of your inner light.